Hello, everybody. Yeah, what an exciting day. Thank you for joining me as we have Chris Brecher coming from Simpler Trading. We have the NASDAQ, we have the Dow smoking, the NASDAQ smoking, the ES close 50 points away from all-time high as well. And Jerome Powell comes to save the day, or did he? I don't know. I mean, I feel like he just said, you know, stay the course as we go. But I want to thank everybody. I'm just going to have to get this going here, go over to YouTube and call this up because I want to say thank you to everybody because traders stay late. And we're not staying too late today. We'll be here till about 4:30 and we'll do all the market recaps. We'll talk about oil. We'll talk about the FOMC, the Fed rate decision that came through. And I'm just going to load it up so I can have the chat because if you're here, thank you so much. And here it is right now. Let's pop this out. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls for being here. Thank you to 11320 Wolf. Thank you, everybody. Charlie Taff and everybody that's here. Again, is my stream deck open? I believe that it is. So let's go with a little bit of a bang. Thank you so much for everybody joining here. What's up to Juan? What's up to Julie? Adam Wilson's here. Benton C is here. All right, this is a little bit of a roll call, so we can do that. What's up, Hans and everybody? Gethu, everybody is here. So we'll go on with the show now, and we will talk about that. But again, what a big day it was as Jerome Powell comes through and is just like, yo, we told you we're going to be data dependent. And they're getting the data. Now, not much going through. It looks like we're going to pace out 4 rate cuts heading into 2020 or through 2024. So that's going to be good. Let's see if we can get that Fed fund target rate back down into 4%. I mean, here's the CME rate tool right now. We had 9, this was going into today. 97%. So we got what we got. So that's that. Now let's go over and see what January is trying to say right now. Cut, 66% says downside, so we like that. Then look at May, cut again in May, down to 475. Let's look at June. Right now, down again to 450. Another rate cut. Let's look at July. Same thing, so possibly stand still in July, September. So I think that's 3 or 4 rate cuts. There's the next one. So that's 4 right there heading into September, down to 4 to 4 1/4. What do they say for November now? Ooh, almost a third, down sub 4, 375 to 4. And then a year today, potentially, guys, we are back into 350 to 375. We like that as all the calculations go. And Obi said, what's the plan? I said, look what the Fed's telling you. Looks like we will get those rate cuts. I think as interest rates pull back, it's a go sign. I feel like money will come out of the money markets and go back into stocks because where else? We saw Bitcoin make a move back to 43,000. That's exciting as well. But look at this. How often do we see this on our board? Everything green today. That's great. Led by the regional banks. Let's take a drink. Look at the regionals. Man, are we cruising. How funny was it that just a year ago, guys, we were, well, I mean, a little bit less than a year ago, but all of that controversy, right? We had Silicon Valley Bank fall on its face. We had PacWest. We had First Republic. We had Western Alliance. We had BAC sub 25. You know, now look, now we're up to $52 and trying to break out now on the KRE. And again, as some of their assets become less distressed with interest rates coming back down, right? It's that net margin game again. Nice move up for KRE today. That's great. Shout out to everybody that's in solar, man. We know there's a lot of people. What's up to Reliable Rudy? Anybody on Solar Edge? Anybody on Enphase? Again, as rates get all figured out, TAN up 5.7% today. Silver. I know this is going to be hard to see. I got to do a better job of possibly bringing these a little bigger so you can see them. But silver, 4.5% today. Biotech, 4%. The XLUs, utilities, upside, up 3.5% as we go. What else, man? The IYR, the real estate ETF. Look at this one. You want to talk about a breakout? What about IYR? Look at this name. Bouncing up to, tired? Yeah, me too. Bouncing up right now, as Ramin's right here beside me. Bouncing to $90 right now. That looks great. I mean, look at this bottom. We were just at $75 at Halloween. Let's check out Pan W because Chris is here. Chris always says my best call is Pan W. And look at that one, man. Palo Alto. Huge move to the north side. Now 316, but we're not going to just talk about that. OIH today, oil services. Nice move. I feel like our internet must be slow. Everything seems to be a little slower right now. Okay, oil's been getting beat up, right? Nice little move upside today for CL, so that's good. What is USO doing? Let's just check out United States Oil Fund. There it is right now, USO up 1.7%. So that's looking pretty healthy. I don't mind oil down here. And like Randy was saying, at some point we're gonna have to buy something. You know, you're going to have to put money to work. I don't know if it's in oil, but I just look at two wars right now. It doesn't look like, I don't know. I mean, I obviously hope that there's, you know, basically peace treaties on both of these accounts. I don't know if they're going to happen or not. Probably not. But is $60 a little low? Is this worth a shot on oil right now at 64? Maybe. I feel like holding against 60, well worth it right now. Look at XOM. Get those dividends. Look where XOM is. Look where CVX is. You know, these levels are, there's a lot of levels and a lot of support coming in. What about Oxy with Warren Buffett coming into play again? Occidental. Load. Let me just do a weekly chart for this because everything looks the same right now in the oil. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot more room to go. But look at this, man. You're bouncing your head up to $54, $55. These levels look pretty sweet to me, man. All right, that's USO. Financials. Wow, look at the XLF once this loads. Load. Taking out levels, not near the high, but what a nice move this has been. And again, these are all weekly charts, right? We saw JP Morgan, what a great trade, what a great trade that was on JP Morgan today off Fed. Look at the daily chart here on JPM. Like, you want to talk about possibly running up into something. I mean, this is why we do the market recap show. All right, this is why we talk about traders staying late. I joke about it on the show. And I said this with first of all, is Adobe out right now? Let me check. Oh, Adobe is out right now. There's Adobe. Adobe FY 17 to 18. Okay. Looks like we might be in trouble. 427 versus 414. That's okay. Sales 505 versus 503. So everything's beating. I thought like the FY forward 1760 to 18. That's not great when they're expecting 18. 21.3 to 21.5 versus 21.7. So without looking at Adobe, put your bets in. Where do you think? I'm going to say down because you can't guide down in this environment. We've already saw NVIDIA head to the downside. Oh, wow, we right about that one. I better adjust my Adobe. We're actually long Adobe right here, 400 break, and we're not out of it, so we got to watch out for that. There's Adobe printing right back into VWAP, 575. Look for a hold. I feel like I might get out of Oracle, reassess this Adobe print, but this isn't bad. If we can get something long into 570, I don't mind that. That's a nice move down. It's Adobe. It's getting rug pulled a little bit on that guide. I feel like current quarter again. And not to go into this because this is the wrong show. I don't have the earnings. I don't have a producer in my ear. We're doing this by ourselves. I can see Obi still here. Nobody else. We got Chris ready to go. A few traders I see staying by, so that's good. Hopefully that changes. But it's this guide. Sees Q1 adjusted, right? Okay, they see Q1 fine. So what are they talking about? They're just talking about forward 24. So the whole year, they're seeing, I guess, some slowdown in the second half of the year because they're seeing Q1 as being pretty strong. This is what I'm saying, like, and again, without being on the call, I get a little frustrated because I feel like guides, it's like, okay, they're going to have a good Q1, but then they're forward 24, they're guiding lower. What do they see in the second half of the year that they're worried about? Is it their subscription revenue maybe coming back in a little bit? Like to dig into that, but I really think that Adobe's a buy. So we'll look at that. Don't hold me to it. But again, down into here, 570, I think I like that. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. But the SPY, again, an earshot away from all-time highs. The DIA, the diamonds, that is the Dow Jones, an ETF that I don't have on here, which I should. Look at this stock. You want to talk about ETF and passive investing, look at this, man. The diamonds, hello, straight to the upside. Why? Again, Apple, Intel, Microsoft, banks, Caterpillar, some of these good names that have been working, Deere, in the Dow, straight up to the upside. United Health as well. Okay, before we get Chris to come on here, I did want to go over what exactly the Fed did today. So we had Jerome Powell come through, right? Let's just recap a little bit here. I have a tweet. that's going to talk a little bit about the Fed. So let me just show this real quickly if I can. Maximum screen. And as I can hear Ramin and Fabian in my ear, just hit F11, dog. Okay, so here it is right here, right? Summary of the decision today. Fed leaves rates unchanged. Wow. We knew that. Fed says growth of economy has slowed since Q3 2023. Again, we could see the CPI, we know the prints, we could see the PPI. Growth slowing, we sort of know that. That's their plan. That's why they're raising rates. So on par, right? Most Fed officials see interest rate cuts in 2024. Well, we've already discussed, here, let's do this. So it makes it look smarter if I have these index things going through, right? Median projection shows 3 rate cuts in 24. That's a lie. Not a lie, this is just highlights. We've already showed you 5 potential rate cuts coming in 2024, according to CME rate tool. Fed sees 4, and these are the parts that I don't know yet, because again, without Brendan in our ear as this is happening, Fed looks like they see 4.1 unemployment by end of 2024. I believe we're at what, 3.7 to 3.9 right now? So a little more unemployment, which is good. That's what, we can't have unemployment keep going down as interest rates are going down as well. We could talk about disinflation. We could talk about more of this. Fed sees US GDP growth at 2.6% in 2023. Okay, well, that's almost over, so they should know that. And 1.4 in 2024. So US GDP growth lower in 2024. Talk to Frank about that tomorrow. The market is pricing in double the number of rate cuts in 2024 than the Fed projects. So right there, Fed projecting, so I might have read that wrong. The Fed officials project 3 interest rate cuts, and that is right, we showed you 5, so double. So that's a little bit of a review from the Fed. It didn't seem like anything was really caught by surprise, but again, pretty interesting to go with the Fed so far here today. Sean's tweets, we're gonna do that after. So all right, that's that. A little bit of a recap there from the Fed, and look what the market did. All right, the market said, okay, well, you can see the Dow straight to the upside. Let's see a 5-minute chart on the Dow. Okay, take a drink of water and regroup. Welcome everybody that is live on X with us right now as we set the world on fire. Hey, Chris Brecher, not only are we streaming live now on YouTube, I'm getting you more eyeballs on Twitter. So let's go, man. This is what's happening right now. It is Trader TV Live. We're now streaming live, YouTube and X. Join us on both. Should we go on Twitch next? No, because we can't actually. We cannot do that because YouTube no like that. Oh, they changed those rules. Okay. Soon to come. Look at the SPY off of 2 o'clock, you know? And this is where we say some basketball references, like honestly, ball don't lie. Look at the cues, right? Like you don't have to sit here and ask me, like Obi doesn't have to ask me, what do I think about the market? I mean, what does the market think about the market? And it's thinking higher, man. The Qs is percentage points away, less than 1 away from all-time highs. We talked about that. The S&P, very, very similar. Dow Jones is already at all-time highs. The S&P 500, right? Now, we can only look at ETFs in here on the Trade Ideas platform, but you are 50 handles away on the S&P 500 from all-time highs. You are probably, what, $1 and change away on the SPY? Load. That is 470. I think we talked about this with 480. Let's call it 480, right? You're at 470. So why did I say $1? $10 away right now from the SPY highs, right? So you're very, very close to all-time highs. And imagine what we just went through. Can you imagine? And I mean, I know Chris is listening. Maybe we could bring Chris in a minute. We had 500 basis points of rate hikes this last year. We had a major war in Ukraine not solved. This came up in Israel and Palestine, not resolved yet. We had major bank failures. You know, we had interest rates, we just talked about 500. We had Bitcoin dropping from 66,000, and this happened the year before, down to 15,000, and everybody was worried, or down to 12,000. What's happening with that? You know, we had mortgage rates. I forgot about that. 20-year highs. Mortgage rates, interest rates, car payments, loans, credit card debt, all-time highs. What does the market say? If I had a beer, I'd tell the market to hold it. It's just ripping and still going higher. Hey, what's going to happen if we get good news? Let's bring in Chris and ask him. Hey, Mr. Brecher, how are things going? Hey, you're in the same spot you were last week. I thought you were having some renos done.
Well, behind me, do you notice anything different? S'mores isn't there. 30 snakes are.
Oh my God!
My daughter buys and sells snakes, and they can't be around any fumes if we get the floors sanded and all that. So I'm keeping, I'm parenting 30 snakes.
Dude, snakes? I'm not all about that.
I neither. And if you see my shoulder go like that, it's because I think they're slithering out of their tubs.
I was gonna say, it looks like you have one on your shoulder right now. No, just joking. We don't, so we'll slap a fail on that one. But wow. We were gonna talk about some setups, but you know what? We also had Fed today. So I don't know if you just heard that little rant that I went on, everything that kind of went wrong this year, and then did it go wrong? I mean, what is your take about 2023? I mean, obviously we're in a bull market right now. The run continues, and it's hot, man. Financials up, utilities up, real estate. We talked about that IYR ETF. That's ripping. Your transport's probably ripping. So what say you about this market that we're in right now, Chris?
Well, I'll tell you I know you hear everybody climbing a wall of worry, which is exactly what you're talking about, that you threw everything at it and still went up. And it's really interesting because a lot of people are saying, oh, there's a lot of cash on the sidelines. And, you know, you might say, oh, yeah, but it's in money markets getting like 5% or 4.5%. On the other hand, they're saying, you know, the Russells move 4% in one day some days.
Yep.
So you start getting the animal spirit starting to come in there. And I got to tell you, it still seems like the speculation in the small stocks hasn't started yet. So I wanted to show you these two charts because, you know, you've heard everybody on the internet talking about, oh, we've rallied on low volume and, oh, you're going to have a depression and all this. And it's really the price action that matters. But what I look at, if you're going to look for any kind of sell-off, it's about extremes.
Right.
And so the first thing I thought I'd show you, if you could see it, is how far the S&P on the right is away from its 50 moving average. And most of the time it gets to about 5.8%. But as you see down here, got to 7%. And here it was even higher. And it was only 5% before today. So it's not an extreme. The same with that moving average of the put call. Everybody's saying the put call's low. And don't get me wrong, sentiment's getting a little frothy, but there's no reversal, so you might as well go with it. But as you see here, that this is not even close to where it was in July. So just about, if you're going to go on those kind of reasons, you need the extremes.
That's a daily chart there. I see the put call ratio got down to 0.5. So that means that there was double the calls than puts. Am I reading that right? I'm
going more on the moving average.
Okay.
So yeah, if it stays down here, you're going to see that red line go down real quick. But that's the 50-day. So we could put the 20-day, which I'm sure is going to sharply.
No, what about a larger time frame, like a weekly chart or something? Because
let's see.
Yeah, because I was just looking, because we had Danielle on, and I remember back in September she was talking about the put call ratio being the other way, which I could see on your chart there was up to 1.2 or 1.3 the other way, insinuating that there's more puts than calls. But now with your 0.7 flipping it the other way, it seems like there's more calls than puts. So I'm just wondering, we had a chart on the VIX, like the VIX being at 12. I mean, that's low, you know? So I want to find out, so I can see now that you have it, so maybe we can flip back over to your screen and I'll just talk about this. Like down there, down to 0.4, 0.6 on that for a 1 week for the put call ratio. I wonder if we're getting ready to flip over a little bit and maybe we're overcooked to the upside.
Well, one of my friends on Simpler Trading is this guy, T.G. Watkins. I really like his stuff. And he was talking about stocks that are too far over that are over their 50 moving average.
Right.
And now it's like 90% of them, which usually coincides with the top. But before you go crazy, you got to look for those reversal patterns. So, and you don't have those. And in the meantime, you usually get those catch-up trades. So, I mean, you see here on the far right, not political, just far right on the chart, about the reversal candles here. But you don't have that here. Now, if I see a big old red candle take back half that green, yeah, I'll get bearish. The problem is that'll be down 40 points from here, and everybody will say they missed it, when really that's where it was at 2 o'clock Eastern. So I think you have to find that. In the meantime, I totally agree with you about oil. We were right last time. Or let's put it this way, you were right.
Yep.
Because I'm still going on that PANW call.
You like that one?
About 30%.
Yeah, that PANW was okay. So the thing about oil is that it doesn't, I mean, it's just kind of doing its own thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure anymore, Chris, about oil being a good investment because, like, I don't want to be held over the fire by OPEC, and I don't want my investment decisions to sort of wane on what their decisions are, or whether or not the U.S. is going to refill their SPR or anything like that. Like, I just trying to look at levels of interest, and right now oil's down near that $65 mark, and that looks pretty good for a long. So I feel like you take the long, thinking that everybody else is going to do it, and it's almost just like herd mentality, you know. But for a longer term trade, I'm not in love with oil. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I'm looking more at like the Exxon, exactly what you were talking about.
Same.
About if interest rates are starting to go down, you can go for those dividend stocks. But I like PXD because Exxon's buying it for 2.3234 shares.
Right.
So every time Exxon goes up a point, that's like PXW going up 2.3. So we bought some PXD today at like 22.10, but I really wanted to do spreads. It's just all about rotation. Is maybe they get out of the big sevens on any kind of rebalance at the end of this week, but they'll probably go into the laggards, and that could be great for the Exxons of the world, not the oil. I totally agree with you about Exxon or playing it with its procs and PXD.
You have, although I'm sure, you know, both of us combined probably have a century worth of history behind us. But what do you think about the VIX? I mean, here I have a chart right here that we pulled out from the VIX. And I mean, this level of 12, like, you know, this is at its lowest level since 2020. I mean, you can see the blow up here. I mean, again, market broke. We know about that. A lot of different ETFs went under with the VIX kind of just losing its mind there with COVID. But now you've come all the way and round tripped all the way back. So although, you know, I like volatility, I've never held VIX as an investment tool or anything, but I'm actually wondering if maybe as a hedge at some point, we should be buying the VIX down here at $12. Is that something, and again, I lean to our experience and more to yours right now, is that something that maybe professional traders would ever do if they feel that maybe they're getting a little long in the tooth in some of their positions? Do you trade the VIX or do you just take off your long positions?
On what I've seen, you just take off your long positions. But if you look at the right on here, when this was up here in 2022 on the left,
yep,
the VIX was down here, was 12. Yeah, 12 usually sticks. I mean, 12 sticks,
yep.
No doubt about it, right in that area. But I've seen more people lose on calendars because calendars are delta short, like put calendars. But you do have a point. If you start seeing some kind of bear flag on the ES, let's say on a 4-hour chart, I mean, you don't now. It looks like it had about a Viagra in here. But if you start seeing some kind of reversal and bear flag, you won't buy the bottom in the VIX, but then you could bet on some kind of put calendar, betting on direction and the VIX rally.
All right, yeah, so I think that's, again, I've never invested in it. You could get UVXY, you could get double the returns on all of that. All right, we're running short on time. Do you have an idea for anybody tomorrow? Anything you want to share? Maybe something that you guys were talking about in your room or anything like that over there at Simpler?
Yeah, I still like the idea of doing something in PXD for next week.
All right.
So it's doing some kind of like a vertical call debit spread for next week above the market. Because I'm just looking at on the right, if Exxon gets that little rally up to that 100,
right,
even 100, that's like PXD going over 225.
Okay, I like that because of the buyout and everything like that, the relationship there with PXD. So I do like that one. So thank you so much. Once again, man, Chris Brecher. So you have anything planned here? You doing any webinars this weekend or anything with anybody?
No, I'm having back surgery next week, which on the 28th, which guarantees the market's going to go crazy. I mean, obviously, then it's going to go crazy. But
so do I not have you anymore then, Chris?
No, just next Wednesday.
Okay,
but after that, yeah, I should be fine by the following Wednesday. Probably not on Monday, but that's that New Year's Day. But that's probably not the best day for me to swing 100 lots. That's for sure.
I was gonna say, you have back surgery. You're carrying too many longs on your shoulders, man. We gotta get out of some of them, but they're paying off right now. All right. Good luck with everything, Chris, obviously. And we'll see you when you get back. You can go find Chris Brecher at Simpler Trading. And thank you again, my friend, for everything. Good luck with it. And stay away from those snakes. I hear they go on planes.
Yeah. Take care.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
All right. That's it. Trader Talk. I don't know, snakes on a plane? I don't know. I like it. That was pretty funny. Right there. All right, shout out time. Oh, Sean's tweets. I don't care. Oh, no, you will say this. I was going to do the roll call, but let's go over some tweets quickly before we go. I want everybody to make sure you can follow me. We also have the sticky note. You have that sticky note? Yeah, hit that, and we can do it. I want to put it over here as well. Today we had some great trades on the sticky note, man. You can find, there it is right there. Thank you so much for that, by the way, Fabian. I think that's a really cool one. Today we had some good looks, man. Pfizer long 26. I mean, that was a banger. AMD long 136. Can't get too much better than that. Plus a 140. We'll look for that tomorrow. I really like the Roblox upgrade. We weren't able to trade that. We'll have a look, and then Tesla, guys. Those of you that were watching me trade today, I actually, here. I don't know why I keep rubbing the salt in my own wound here, but it's not a wound because it's a positive trade. Look at that. So again, we tried Tesla early off 232, and again, it's a sticky no level, so we talked about that, and then we just said, like, look, if Fed comes out and gives us this level that we liked based on support down here, let's take it. Not only was it VWAP, but it was a banger, man. We took it out, that's $2 winner. It broke below, I think at that point it must have been something that was there while we got out. I think it was just this 20 period before it bounced in and then went another $7. So we did have Tesla there. That was a really good trade. Shout out to everybody that's here right now with me. But let's go over some key tweets that we had. Make sure you do check out the sticky note tomorrow, not yesterday. Yesterday would have been yesterday. Here's Michael Burry. So again, another portfolio that we talk about a little bit here. Again, 48%, and I don't know when this is as of, okay? But we found this today. Shout out to Adara who found this. But look at this, 48% puts right now in socks. So again, yesterday I was wearing some socks. I noticed they had a hole in them, so I threw them out. But Michael Burry talking about the chips. So socks, that is a short in the chip names. So let's just double check what socks is doing right now. So not only did I meet my I was with my grandmother there yesterday and my mother, and she noticed the hole in my socks. So I am going to be getting probably more socks for Christmas. Okay, so here it is right here. This is the iShares Semiconductor ETF. Okay, Michael Burry, let's go over to the screen right now. This is a fight, baby. Michael Burry. This is the thing about this guy. He's called 10 of the last 1 recessions. So the thing is that you're going to come into play now, and I'm going to ask, like, okay, were you short here and covered? Like right now, the chip names are at basically all-time highs. This is SOX weekly chart. So if you like this guy and think that these calls are right, I mean, again, this was tweeted out as of today. So everyone do your own work, but that's his put on SOX right there. Then he has booking. This is another put. So these are puts. Okay, so again, it doesn't mean that Scion Capital, which is what he runs, if they're puts, they can expire. It doesn't mean he's going to go bankrupt or anything. It's just the value of the puts altogether. And again, remember, 1 put is going to equal 100 shares. So we've had this discussion before about this portfolio. I more look at the stocks, right? So Stellantis, see you, Ramin. I like your boots. Stellantis, 7.7%. There, see? So not only does he have a booking put, but 4.6% he also owns the shares. So Alibaba must like the value there, man. 4.3%, right? JD again coming in, and quite frankly, I don't know some of these other names. So that's what we're doing right there, but a couple interesting names. Yeah. Oh, it hits twice now. I like. Okay, so which stock? So again, tech stocks near all-time highs, but which one will outperform the next in the all-time? So again, if you want a little bit of stats here, the different revenues, look at Microsoft. Again, look at all the levers they can pull. So if you were thinking about what stock, I would say pick them all. Pick the NASDAQ. But look at Microsoft, a lot coming through, right? Windows, the Surface, enterprise business, the ads for Bing, the search revenues, LinkedIn coming through, the gaming with Xbox. Sometimes we forget about Xbox. You're going to hear a lot about, actually, isn't PS5 eating their lunch right now? I never hear anything about Xbox. So Fabian saying yes. Windows as well, 14% of Windows. Office products, right? And this is going to include their new, I believe anyways, their chat, right? Because that's with ChatGPT being built into, what is their Windows new product? I forget what it's called, but anyways, come through. People in the chat will have that now incorporates, it's not Office 360, but it's $30 a month anyways, incorporating everything, and then there's the cloud. So I just want to talk about that. Coming through again for Microsoft. Just a lot of levers they can pull. Amazon's getting into that as well. So yeah, what's up, guys, to everybody. Yeah, you're right, Finch. Jane, drink more water. I'm going to get cramps. You're probably right about that. All right. Look, thank you so much for joining again today. What did we not get to? Roll call. Let's do that right now. Where's my roll call thing? There it is. All right, Copilot. Thank you so much. I was waiting for someone to say something. Thank you so much. Synth Pop Boy. So there you go. You get the first shout out right there. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Loser 101. I mean, not the best, but I just want to thank you so much for watching again. I mean, I'm sure Neil did an absolutely fantastic job the last couple of days. So thank you so much for Neil for that. Crazy Stitch Lady, thank you so much. Until tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Adam DeLuz is here. Pranya is here. Pranaya, thank you so much, Pranaya. Bears vs. Bulls is here. Trading Google. Trade Guru wants Google. Yeah, I love Google, man. Love the education on the last chart. Thank you so much, Alan Smith. This is what we're doing, man. Sean's tweets every day. Let's go. Roblox is here. Charlie Taff is here. Bada Bing. What's up? Bada Bing. What's up, guys? On that one, the Bada Bing Club, if you guys know what we're all about with that one as well. Appreciate you, why not, as well, coming through. Adobe. Yeah, we can go back over Adobe. And I also do want to not forget the super chats. Thank you so much to Bears vs. Bulls for this as well. LJD, Miguel Hernandez, Nick W, Lexi's Leon Cruz, London _ M Mason, Ahmed, Y Brothers, D Westermeyer. Sorry, D Westermeyer, I'm not going to be here on Monday. I know you're going to be coming through. I hope you're able to ring the bell. Willis Addison as well. But look, it's been a great day. And I just want to say, if everybody wants to follow me, go do that at Trader TV Sean. Some cool tweets up there every single day. We're not going to stop, man. I'm here. I don't even want to go over my trades. We've had a fantastic day. Today was one of my better days. We had AMD, we had Tesla, we had them all. We had Microsoft. We did not have Apple pulling off of 198. Let's check out Apple tomorrow. Look, give your loved ones a big hug. Say what's up to your friends. Give them a hug as well. This world is only going in one spot, and it's going to go upside. Be positive, be happy about everything. It's very, very tough out there. I completely understand that, but thank you for learning with us as we go. Investing is much different than trading, and we're here to give you a little bit of both. So thank you for watching the Market Recap Show. I want to give a big shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to be back tomorrow with my guy Obi as well. It's going to be another banger show. Make sure you join me at 8:30. Oh yeah, the podcast. Thank you so much to everybody supporting the podcast. It was a wicked podcast, man. Make sure you watch. We talked about Chinese food. We talked, what else? We talked a whole bunch of fun things, man, coming through. What we like, Christmas trees, real versus not. We talked about the market. A lot of fun things happening in that podcast. Go make sure you check it out. Thank you so much to everybody. I'm Sean Katina. I'm getting tired. I'll see you tomorrow.